Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Even with the economy and what has occurred in the last 24 months, and when you look at the overall numbers, would it make sense to back off this 38-week schedule that this kind of monster that's been created and have a stronger core, a better product rather than depleting it to the numbers that we've gotten to today?
Well, it's easy to think that this late in the year or at the final event, we're all tired a little bit, and it's understandable to think that. I think you have to look at it a couple steps back and then determine that we don't have the amount of volume in terms of games that other leagues have. We don't have 30 games a week, 40 games a week. We have one big event or more or per series, obviously others, but per week. And so when you start dialing that back, it has a lot of effects on you. And it's certainly understandable to be a little fatigued this time of year, but I think when you pull back, and like we do and the teams do, there's great value in having events that happen once a week where they happen to keep the interest level where it is. And normally that outweighs some of the reasonable positions people can have to want to dial an event back or off the schedule. Usually the other things totally outweigh that. The benefits outweigh it.
Final question.
Terry Blunt, ESPN.com. Brian, in that regard, also a couple of things. Would there be any interest in looking at shortening some of the races and even shortening some of the weekends, having more two-day weekends, for example? And also, you talked earlier about Juan Pablo Montoya and what he's meant. It looks like that it's a possibility that Danica Patrick will come to NASCAR.
Yeah.
What do you think that would mean to NASCAR if she did?
Well, I would sort of say that the reducing some of the lengths of the events, we've done that in the past. At Dover and some other places, we have done that, and when that makes sense, and all of it would be, would it make that race a better race for the fans? We would just cut the amount of events or the laps back or the distance back, unless we thought it would make a big difference. And we'll be looking at that and working with our tracks to come up with the same conclusion that we might if that were to be the case. Juan Pablo, I said earlier, I think he can be a star here with his credentials, his aggressive style, and his connection to the Hispanic population is very good for us, and I've always said that. The question is he good enough at this style racing to be a star? And I think he is, but he's got to prove that. I think he thinks he is. I think he's done a lot to put his best foot forward this year. And Danica, she has obviously taken a very hard look at this sport, and she's obviously a very recognizable, accomplished driver in her own right. And I would love to see her compete at the highest form of racing in the world, and I think she's thinking about it. And if she does, that's, as they say, that's why you play the game. I don't know how well she'll do. She has a lot of talent. She will be good for NASCAR, and how well she will perform is like any other driver that comes through the front door and sits in the car. You never know until they do it, and she probably doesn't know. And we'll see what the future brings, but she's certainly very welcome in NASCAR, and I've told her that directly, and I know others have too.